I used to think my marriage was like a fairy tale. 10 years with Mark, 2 beautiful kids, a home filled with laughter was everything I had ever dreamed of. We were high school sweethearts, the couple everyone looked up to. He was my rock, my best friend, my everything, or so I thought. The cracks started small, almost invisible. Late nights at the office became more frequent, business trips popped up out of nowhere. The way he'd angle his phone away from me, the sudden password on his laptop. I tried to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I needed to trust the man I had built my life with. But the distance between us grew, turning our cozy home into a cold, silent space. The day my world shattered started like any other. Mark was supposedly on a work trip. I was juggling the kids' school run and a mountain of laundry when a notification popped up on our shared family tablet. It was a photo from a friend, tagging Mark. He wasn't in a conference room. He was on a beach, his arm wrapped around a woman I didn't recognize, both of them smiling as if they didn't have a care in the world. The air left my lungs, my hands started shaking. I clicked on her profile. It was a rabbit hole of pictures, of dates, of a whole other life he was living without me. For months, maybe even years, the betrayal was a physical blow, knocking me to my knees right there in the middle of my kitchen. The fairy tale wasn't real, it was a lie. The days that followed were a blur of tears and sleepless nights. When Mark came home, I confronted him. He didn't even try to deny it. The cold, detached way he admitted it all hurt more than the affair itself. He said he wasn't happy, that he felt trapped. He packed a bag and left, leaving me to pick up the pieces of our shattered family. I had to explain to my children why their daddy wasn't coming home, a conversation no mother should ever have to endure. I felt completely and utterly lost. My identity was so wrapped up in being a wife and a mother that I didn't know who I was without him. Friends and family rallied around me, but their pity felt suffocating. I felt like a failure, like I was broken beyond repair. Every morning, I'd look in the mirror and see a stranger staring back, her eyes hollow and empty. The future I had so carefully planned was gone, replaced by a terrifying, uncertain void. I was adrift in an ocean of grief, with no land in sight. I truly believed I would never find my way back to shore. Months went by, I was just going through the motions, a ghost in my own life. I'd fizz a smile for the kids, but inside, I was crumbling. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, I was trying to fix a leaky pipe under the kitchen sink, getting soaked and feeling more pathetic than ever. I was on the verge of tears, ready to just give up, when the doorbell rang. I sighed, wiped my wet hands on my jeans, and went to answer it, expecting a package or a salesperson. But when I opened the door, a man I vaguely recognized was standing there, holding a toolbox. It was David, my new next-door neighbor. He had moved in a few weeks ago, but we'd only ever exchanged brief, polite waves. "Hi," he said, a little hesitantly. "I saw you from my window. Looks like you're having some trouble with your plumbing. I'm pretty handy, if you'd like some help." I was so taken aback by the simple offer of kindness that I just stood there for a second. "Oh, I managed to say you don't have to do that. It's no trouble at all," he insisted with a warm smile. Really, better than watching daytime TV. Reluctantly, I let him in. As he expertly tightened a loose valve and stopped the leak in minutes, we started talking. I found myself telling him everything: the affair, the divorce, the feeling of being completely lost. I hadn't planned to, the words just came tumbling out. Unlike everyone else, he didn't offer pity or platitudes. He just listened, really listened. He told me he was a carpenter, and he'd gone through a tough divorce himself a few years back. He understood the feeling of having the rug pulled out from under you. He talked about how he found his way back through his work, by building things, by creating something new from scratch. His perspective was so refreshing. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel so alone. That simple act of kindness, that knock on the door, was a turning point. David and I became friends. We'd chat over the fence while gardening or grab coffee. He never pushed, never pried. He was just there. A steady, supportive presence. He encouraged me to rediscover the things I loved before I was away. I started painting again, something I hadn't done since college. I joined a book club. I took my kids on spontaneous weekend adventures. Slowly, color started seeping back into my world. I started to see the woman in the mirror again, not as a broken victim, but as a survivor. I was building a new life, piece by piece, just like David built things with his hands. It wasn't the life I had planned, but it was mine, it was real. The betrayal nearly destroyed me. It left a scar that will never fully fade. But it also forced me to find a strength I never knew I had. Sometimes, when you think you're completely lost, a helping hand appears when you least expect it, not to lead you back to where you were, but to help you find a new path forward. That knock on the door didn't just fix a leaky pipe. It helped fix a part of me I thought was broken forever. It's been 2 years now. The kids are thriving. My house is once again filled with laughter. David and I are still just friends, the best of friends. His presence in my life is a constant reminder that even after the most devastating storm, the sun can and will shine again. I'm not just a survivor, I'm the architect of my own new, beautiful life. And I wouldn't trade that for any fairy tale.